Okay, so students, now we'll be starting with the second class today. So we are done with how to find the HCF of two numbers with the help of Euclid's division lemma. Now we'll be discussing how to find HCF of three numbers with the help of Euclid's division lemma. Suppose I have three numbers A, B and C. So first what I need to do is I need to find the HCF of two numbers. Now along with this HCF and the number left, find the HCF again. And this HCF is the HCF of all the three numbers. Now the question comes, how to choose which two numbers to be chosen first. You can choose any two numbers out of these three first, and then out of the HCF that you get for those first two chosen numbers, along with the third number, now you find the HCF again, and this HCF will be the HCF of all the three numbers. Now we'll do it, we'll understand it well with the help of these problems. So now I'll be doing this, I'll be just for you to remember, and I'll be writing this again so that you remember it well, and we'll be solving it here. So I'll be doing the first question now. So out of the three numbers, the first question is 136, 170 and 255. All the three questions that we are going to solve is written right here. So we'll start with the first. So the first question is 136, 170 and 255. So out of these three, you can choose any two numbers at a time. So I'll be choosing, I'll be choosing these two. So as you all know, out of these two numbers, the greatest number is taken as the dividend. So 255, so dividend is equal to divisor, the smaller number, into quotient. Now if I divide 255 170, it goes one time, and the remainder comes 30 from this side and 55 from this side, it goes 85. Now I am doing it directly, but you can do it for the better. In case you are confused or you find it difficult to do it directly, you can simply divide it what you have been told, like dividing 255 by 170 goes one time, it gives you a remainder of 85. So now simply write dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Now I hope all of you remember the next step, that is the divisor at this stage becomes the dividend in the next, and the remainder becomes the divisor. So 170 is equal to 85. So when I divide 170 by 85, it goes two times and the remainder becomes 0. So the step at which the remainder becomes 0, the divisor at that step gives you the HCF. So this is the HCF of the first two chosen numbers. Now you have to find the HCF of this 85 and the number which was left, that is 136. So now finding the HCF of 136 and 85. So again the bigger number is to be chosen as the dividend. Now divided, it goes one time. So 36 and 15, that is 51. So you can do it again by division. I did it straight away. So now again divisor becomes dividend, remainder becomes divisor. Again it goes one times, and this time it gives you 34 as the remainder. Now again 51 by 34, it goes one time, giving you a remainder of 17. Now 34 is equal to 17 into 2 plus 0. So the step at which the remainder becomes 0, the divisor becomes the HCF. So HCF, the 17 is the HCF of all the three numbers, that is 136, 170 and 255. In case of any query, any doubt in any of the steps, you can simply divide and find the quotient and the remainder. So at every step the logic remains the same, that dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. I hope you understood this. So now I'll be moving to the next problem. Okay, now the next question. So now the next question, again I can choose any of the two numbers. This time I'll be choosing the first two. So the dividend is equal to divisor. So 180 by 230, it goes one time, then the remainder becomes 50. Those who have any kind of doubt, you can do it simply this way. 230 divided by 180 goes one times, gives a remainder of 50. So dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Now the divisor becomes a dividend, the remainder becomes a divisor. Okay, so now dividing 180 by 50, it goes 3 times, leaving a remainder of 30. Now 50 goes, like 50 is divided by 30 one times, giving a remainder of 20. Now 30 divided by 20 goes one time, leaving a remainder of 10. Now 20 goes 2 times by 10, leaving a remainder of 0. So here the divisor becomes your HCF, and at every step the concept remains the same, that is dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. At every step, at any step, if you get confused, simply use the division method. Just cross check it and do it by your own, step by step. Just understand it and solve all the questions of the assignments which you'll be given just after this video. Now the third question. Okay, so now, so the third and the last question, you have 441, 567 and 693. In case you have understood the process well, I hope all of you have already understood it well. So do not just see how I am solving it. Once you have understood it, write the problem and solve it along with me right here while attending this class. Now, I can choose any of the two numbers. So again, I'll be choosing, my choice is the first two. You can choose any two at a time and the remaining one with the other HCF. Now, so I'll be choosing the larger number. I'll be choosing these two first. So the larger number becomes a dividend and the smaller number becomes a divisor. It goes one time, and the remainder. So let's find out the remainder. So 7 minus 1 is 6, 6 minus 4 is 2, and 5 minus 4 is 1. Those who are confused, you can do it this way. Dividing 567 by 441 one time. You can do it this way. Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Now, the divisor becomes the dividend and the remainder becomes the divisor. Now 126 goes 3 times. It becomes 378 and giving you a remainder of 63. In case you have any doubt, again you can go that way. Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Now divisor becomes the dividend, remainder becomes the divisor. So 126 is equal to 63, and 63 into 2 is 126, which is perfectly divisible, giving you a remainder of this stage. So here the divisor becomes the HCF. Now this is the HCF of the first two chosen numbers. Now you have to find the HCF of this, the third left out number, and 63. So now I'm finding the HCF of 693 and 63. So again the larger number is taken as dividend and divided. So 63 directly divides 11 times. It's perfectly divisible, giving you a remainder of 0. So the step where the remainder is 0, the divisor becomes the HCF. So this 63 is the HCF of all the three numbers. Remember, the HCF at the first stage, that is the HCF of the two chosen numbers. But the HCF at second stage is the HCF of all the three numbers. So I hope you understood it well, and we will be practicing it with the questions from the question bank. Now, I will move to the another topic. Okay, so the chapter is real numbers. So the other topic is word problems. Word problems related to HCF. What kind of word problems we can have? We'll just take an example. Suppose you have 80 pencils and let's say 20 erasers. And I'm saying find the number of rows in which 80 pencils and 20 erasers can be distributed equally in all the rows. So the question says, try to understand the question first. So the question says, find the number of rows in which 80 pencils and 20 erasers can be distributed equally in all the rows. It means, suppose if in each row, I'm just saying suppose, if in each row you have X number of erasers, then it should be X number in each row. If you have Y number of pencils, then Y number of pencils should be present in each of the row. Now, you have to find the number of rows such that 80 pencils and 20 erasers can be, you can say, let's be more specific, equally distributed. Oh, okay, equal is already there, so you don't need to write it. So distributed equally in all the rows. So how we are going to find it? In that case, you are always going to find the common factor, like the number which is divisible by both 20 and 80, so that you don't get any extra left out pencils or rubbers. So we will be finding the HCF. How the distribution will be done? Let's have a look now. Okay, so now, first of all, let's find the HCF of 80 and 20. So the HCF of 80 and 20. So 20 goes 4 times, giving a remainder of 0. Right in the very first step, you have HCF. So what does that 20 mean? We need to understand. That 20 means, okay, you have to find, like, the 20 means the HCF, now how the distribution takes. Now, number of pencil or eraser in each row. And what does this HCF gives? It gives the number of rows. So the number of pencil or eraser in each row will be equal to total number of pencil or eraser upon number of rows. Have a look. So what I'm trying to say is that number of pencil or eraser in each row will give you total number of pencil or eraser. Okay. Now. Okay. So let's find the number of pencil. The number of pencils in each row. So the total number of pencil is 80. Total number of rows is 20. Now, so 80 and 20 will give you 4. 80 divided by 20 gives you 4. Now, what I want to say is, like in each row, you will have 4 pencils. Now let's find number of pencils in, number of erasers now. Pencils we are done. So number of eraser in each row. That is what again. So how many total number of erasers we have? 20. So 20 divided by 20 will give you 1. So 1 eraser in each row and 4 pencil, and such 20 rows will be there. It means you will have 20 rows till 20, and each will have 1 eraser and 4 pencils. 1 eraser and 4 pencil. Each of them will have same 1 eraser and 4 pencil. This will be arrangement in which they will be equally distributed. Now let's take a problem from your NCERT. This was just to make you understand. You don't need to write this or something, you just need to understand this. Now we'll discuss a problem from your NCERT exercise 1. Okay. So exercise 1.1 and the question number 3 of your NCERT. So the question says an army contingent. Contingent means a group of army members which walks in a parade behind a band, behind the band members walk in a parade. I hope all of you have seen a parade or a march in a Republic Day celebration. The same way. Now, so an army contingent of 616 members. So in a total 616 army men are there. So these army men are supposed to march behind an army band of 32 band members. So you have 32 band members in a parade. So these two groups, the band and the army men, they are supposed to march in the same number of columns. You have to find what is the maximum number of columns in which they can march. So let's find what will be the maximum number of columns in which they can march. And we know whenever such case is asked, find the maximum number in which they are equally distributed. Find the number of columns. In that case, we need to find the SCF. Let's find it. So the SCF of 616 and 32. We know how to do it. Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Let's divide it. So 616 divided by 32, it goes one time, 32. So 11 to 9 and 5 to 29. So the 6 comes here, it becomes 296. Now it goes 19 times and it becomes 288. So that gives you a remainder of 8. So 32 into 19 plus 8, that is dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Now here the dividend becomes the divisor becomes the dividend and the remainder becomes the divisor. So 32 is equal to 8. So 32 divided by 8 goes 4 times, that is perfectly divisible, giving a remainder of 0. So here 8 becomes the SCF, and this SCF gives you what? The maximum number of columns. So let's see the distribution. So the number of columns is 8. So how many members of each band and armament in each column? So number of band members in each column is how much? Total number of band members 32 upon number of column, that is 8, which gives you 4. So there are 4 band members. So there are number of band members in each column is total number of band members into the number of rows in which they are, or columns in which they are supposed to be distributed. So you have 4 band members in each column. Now number of army men in each column, that is how much? Army men are 616, number of column is 8, which gives you, it goes 7 times and goes 7 times. So you have 77 army men in each column. Now let's see the distribution, the pictorial view. So you have 4 band members in each column. You have 8 such columns in which you have first 4 band members, and then you have 77 army men in each column. So this is how the distribution will take place. So whenever you have any such questions related to the distribution of, it may be members of any group, or it may be arrangement of any sort of article, it can be related to sweets, pencil, rubbers, eraser, anything. So any such questions where you are asked to find how these numbers or these articles or these objects should be arranged such that they are equally distributed, in that case you will always be finding the HCF. I hope it was easy for you to understand. I'll be giving such more questions in your question bank. With this, wish you all the luck. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.